back to the past to play the shitty
Monday Night Raw.
Suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest
IWC
you've ever heard. He's the angry
WWF
nerd. He's the angry
TNA and Ring of Honor
nerd. He's the angry
wrestling.
nerd.
Really heated. People were into it. This was the best thing on the entire show. Reigns and AJ had a stare down after the match that had the crowd buzzing. I mean, this was great stuff.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
This was really the best night I felt for Roman Reigns in a long time. He still got booed, but there were a lot of cheers for him too. It wasn't 90-10 or 80-20 or even 70-30. I mean, it was, I would say, if anything, it was more maybe 60-40. I mean, it was a lot closer than it has been any other week that I can remember recently. Even chants of Roman at one point. They had dueling "Let's go AJ, let's go Roman" chants. And I look at this and I say it's no coincidence that they gave us ass-kicking Roman Reigns a few weeks ago. Right? I forget which show it was. Maybe it was a week or two ago, which I liked, and I praised it because that's the Roman Reigns that we really should be seeing more of, right? So we got that a week or two ago, and at least for this week, he seemed to have more support than usual. That's not a coincidence.
Typical Solomonster, never wanting to admit when he's wrong, never wanting to accept the fact that he doesn't speak for everybody. This is just another paper-thin excuse that sheep will fall for week after week after week. Either you can be foolish and fall for his garbage, or you can do some actual research on your own to determine why Roman Reigns is WWE's hand-picked guy. He's got 13 million Facebook fans. Oops, ignore that. He has the best-selling shirt on WWE Shop. Oops, ignore that. Kids have wishes to meet him. Oops, ignore that. Listen to me, the world is flat, the moon is made of cheese, pizza's a vegetable. In this case, I just played a clip of him saying that fans will start to cheer for him when he starts to get booked good. What are you, a robot? Are you programmed to do stuff now? Let's go look up what a fan is, since Solomonster is too good enough to do it himself. Fan, an enthusiastic devotee, as of a sport or a performing art, usually as a spectator. Fans are fans for liking people based on their own personal preference, despite criticism, despite failure. Fans stick by these people because they like them regardless of whatever other people think. People support Reigns because they like him, not because he's booked good. People spend money on Roman Reigns merchandise because they like him, not because he's booked good. Don't sit there and say how WWE is trying to make decisions for us, and then tell us that WWE is making decisions for us. That's once again being hypocritical. This guy just can't accept the fact there is a fan base out there for Reigns other than the 15,000-seat dome that shields the world on TV. Omaha, Nebraska, in a region well far from the eastern city regions like New York and Florida where not many wrestling fans travel to, was the venue where this RAW in particular took place. Does that make them a dumb city? Does that make them Bizarro World? Please, tell us.
Because that's where they all want to end up. Unless they're an ex-WWE guy that just hates WWE and doesn't want to go back. Gail Kim, I know, was no fan, probably still is no fan. I don't even think, is she even with TNA anymore? I don't even know. But she's the kind of person who I could see, like, she had success in TNA and was probably very happy to be there working with those people and not interested in going back to WWE because of how badly they treated her and how much she wanted out of there.
Oh, poor Gail Kim. Poor bratty, wooden, unmarketable, uncharismatic Gail Kim. What does this guy think WWE is? Some fairy tale? Is Vince the evil stepfather? Is Dixie the fairy godmother who turns Gail into a lavish princess? Feel free to join the real world anytime, Solomonster. This was the only mention of her on this week's podcast. He probably blew a much bigger load in 2011 at the week she threw that temper tantrum, but I won't bother to find any possible voice clip at that time because I rather keep my ears. You know, I recently found this image on his Twitter feed the other day, which I thought was clever. It says next to Roman Reigns, Vince's boy, over 90 days as champion, IWC's most wanted. Below that is a picture of Gail that says, Dixie's girl, over 1.5 years as champion, killed a utopian division, praised to high heavens. And this pretty much nailed it. For people to spite Roman and praise Gail Kim is blatant hypocrisy. I've always hated Gail since leaving the WWE like an entitled child. Fuck that bitch. I knew since she left WWE and joined to TNA, she would be bad news. I was never a fan of the Knockouts getting much more time than the men, and I wouldn't call it utopian, but they had a division that didn't need to be fixed. You had the beautiful people, Kong, Mickie James, ODB, Taylor Wilde, Jacqueline, Victoria, Hamada, Katie Lee, Sarita, Rosita, Daphne, the list goes on. So, what happened to all of that? Oh right. This can't happen to all of that. The moment she came back to TNA, she was booked as this superwoman, beat the whole gauntlets of the locker room, was given multiple lengthy title reigns, and was shoved down everybody's throats for years to the point that talents like Santana Garrett, Havoc, Lady Tapa, Rosita, Cookie, Taylor Hendricks, Rosie Lotta and many more are either jobbed out of the company or didn't bother to show up anymore. Fuck those girls, right? Who needs them when we got our whiny rich brat that the evil stepfather treated so poorly? Various talents have been denied careers and dreams in TNA, all because of some vindictive woman wanted to stick it to her former boss. Not like she needs the money. She bolted WWE once she got hitched to a celebrity chef. You have to stop and think, what is good for the company? They had 5 years to stop and think about, is Gail Kim really drawing money for us? And the answer is no. Her act got old, viewers grew tired of her burying everyone and being in the title picture all year round. It wasn't until TNA has been cancelled twice and flat broke and lost all of their viewers until they finally decide, hey, we can't do this with just Gail. We need to push new talent. So, who has been treated poorly again? Solomonster? As far as the comparison with Roman Reigns goes, I rather compare her to John Cena for the past several years. People like Daily X-Men, mass internet fans really hate when somebody is handed just everything, but love when somebody is just handed everything. There are good reasons why the evil stepfather makes the business decisions that he does. Gail Kim is not money. Does this scream money to you? Remember when Gail was teaming with Kelly? Who did the crowds cheer for? When your goal is to draw money, talent means jack shit. What is the difference between John Cena and John Cena that can wrestle? Absolutely nothing. For as long as Cena attracts an audience, he will not lose his spot at the top of the company. Supply and demand. This is business 101. This is taught in nearly every school that exists. Why didn't Solomonster learn that at his lavish New York university? As for Gail Kim, good for her to find a front office completely retarded enough to blow their whole business to make her like John Cena 2.0. Remember, wrestling nerds? This is okay. This is not okay. 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 I hope it was worth it for TNA.